Hi everyone, real quick video for the amino acid sequences assignment. Make sure to read through the background information, and then I have check marks here for the different parts of the lab that you should be completing. So first up is pre-lab questions, and those are right here. There's just 2 questions there. And then make sure you're following steps 3 through 4 for the procedure for part A. Record your data for step 5, which will be a table in part A. And then for part B, all you're doing is creating a bar graph for that one. It's number 6. And then there's questions 7 through 10 at the end. So again, just make sure once you're done, refer back up to this checklist and make sure you've completed all these parts. All right, so first up, those 2 pre-lab questions. First one, you're just ranking based only on their anatomy, which ones you think have a more recent common ancestor to humans. So we have gorillas, bears, chimpanzees, and mice. And then this one's just about how if you told a story to someone and then they retold the story and on and on and on, how like over time the number of changes increases, like the telephone game. And like how is this kind of an analogy or like a simile or similar to what happens to DNA over time. Part A, you are comparing amino acid sequences in hemoglobin, which is the molecule in blood that carries oxygen. So important to know that this has been broken up into 3 pieces because if I were to like cut each of these tables out, so like here's part 1, this is split like part 2, and this is part 3. If I were to cut them out and like tape them end to end, it'd be like, left to right, a really long sequence, and so it'd be hard to fit on this page. So from spot 4 all the way down to spot 139, think of it as like left to right, one really long row. It's just been broken up to fit on this page. And then note that locations where amino acids are identical in all 8 animals isn't shown. So that's why we kind of jump around from like 4, 5, 6, skip 7, 8, go to 9, 10, skip 11, go to 12, because they'd be the same in the graph. Okay. So this is how you do your comparisons. Use human as the control, and human is the one that's highlighted in gray. You're going to compare the sequence for the selected mammal, so we'll just do bear as this example, to the sequence for humans. When you find an amino acid in the mammal sequence that does not match the human sequence, you highlight it or mark it or use your paint tool or whatever you're doing. Like I said, bear has been completed as an example, and you'll repeat it for each mammal. So there's a couple ways to go about this. You can do it one mammal at a time. So you can do bear, and whenever you go along and you see a difference comparing to humans, you highlight it. So like those are the same. Oops, there's a difference, we highlight it. That's the same, there's a difference, it gets highlighted, and so on. So every time you see an amino acid that's different than the one in the human, you highlight it. And then you do that from 4 all the way down to 139, spot 139. So that's one way you can do it. The other way is if you want to just do it numbers at a time, so like go all the way down 4, all the way down 5. It's just like when you're doing this though, you want to make sure you're comparing everything to humans. So in this whole column, whenever I see something that isn't a T, I'll highlight it. So if I'm going down, I'll be like, oh, shrew has an S, that gets highlighted. So whatever way you want to do it, if you want to do it mammal at a time, going all the way across, or if you want to do it comparing to the human all the way down. But just remember that like you can't go all the way straight down with just the same letter T, because our 4 spot is T, but as I'm going down, like we're at spot 54 now on this piece of the figure. So this is now V I should be looking for. And then like this is 109 and it's still looking for B. So again, whenever you see a difference, you can highlight it. So once you've done all your highlighting, you count up your differences. So like I'll count up how many things were highlighted for bear, and there was 15. And so I put that number here. And so you do the same thing for each of these. And then that's it for part A. For part B, think of all the highlighting and counting has already been done for you. So we're looking at a different amino acid sequence, and this is for cytochrome C. So again, column 1 is the mammal, and these are all like compared to humans. And column 2 is going to be the number of differences. So what you did in step 5 for part A, except like I said, all that highlighting and counting has been done for you. So for example, chimpanzee, when we're looking at the cytochrome C sequence, there's 0 differences to humans. And then like wheat, there's 43. But you can see these don't go in like numerical order. You can see that it's not going from smallest to largest or anything. There's no specific pattern right here. So your job is to make a bar graph based on this data, and you'll want to create that pattern for yours. So select an order of bars that would best reveal that pattern. Like I would do smallest to largest would be a good visual as an example. And the graph is worth 3 points, so make sure you include it. This is all you have to do for part 6 is make this graph. And so you can paste it at the bottom of this document, or you can attach it separately. That's fine. Then the analyze and conclude questions are 7 through 10. And 7 is just like based on your hemoglobin data, so the data you collected from part A, which mammal is closely related to humans, and like what's your evidence. 8 is looking at the cytochrome C data from part B. Does that support what you put for A? Yes or no, just explain your answer. Did the data support the rankings you made as part of the pre-lab? So remember, that was pre-lab question 1. Like, was there any differences in what you had put? And for question 10, kind of tricky here. We're looking at the cytochrome C in both horses and pigeons, and it's different from humans at 12 locations. And you can see up here, horse and pigeon, they have the same number of differences. Hint, hint, hint. If you only looked at the cytochrome C data and you're like, oh, they both differ from humans, 12 locations, they must be closely related. So remember though, this is only looking at the cytochrome C data, which you never want to only look at one thing. So like, what could you do to either support that hypothesis that horses and pigeons are closely related, or refute or contradict that hypothesis? So again, remember in this question, it's asking like, if you only look at the cytochrome C data, and infer or guess that they're closely related, what could you do to either support that or like contradict that hypothesis? Like, what more could you do? All right, that is it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I know it just looks long and confusing, but it's just because it has to fit all these sequences on this page. So, all right, let me know if you have any questions.